Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be working on these cute little Pringles shakers that I have coming up for a birthday party this weekend. I'm going to turn them around so you can see what they look like. And I'm going to do one of these on camera so that you can see what I'm working with and how I'm making these cute little Pringle shakers. So let's get started. So first, these are the supplies that I have that I'm using to create these Pringle shakers. I have these that I printed off of Canva. I purchased these from a Etsy shop, and it was a template that you could use in Canva. And so I was able to put all my pictures and everything into Canva to make this image and print it out. And then I also used, I bought these Cookie Monsters separate. And I was able to print the cookies out to put around the top. And I'll show you that. Then I went in my Cricut and I created these with the cardstock of the blue and the cardstock of the white layered together. I also use these Pringles, these size Pringles. These are the size of Pringles that I'm using for this project. I purchased all of these from Dollar Tree. I purchased 3 different kinds. I purchased this color. I purchased this. It had a white, a gold, and a silver. I think I purchased 2 packs of those. And then I purchased another pack that had a pink, a light green, and I can't remember what the other color was. So I mixed all of those together in this bowl right here. That's what's in this bowl, that mixture. I purchased these from Amazon. These are the ornaments that you separate. And then I cut slits of these to go around the top and the bottom of the Pringles can. You need some tape. This is the rolling tape that you can use. And you also need a hot glue gun. So I have my hot glue, and I do have my hot glue gun here that I'm using. So the images, when you're in Canva, they come to a sheet like this, and then I cut them out. And a little tip for this template, I had to cut a little extra white on the bottom or top of these because they were too short, which it doesn't matter really, I guess, because you can cover it up with the little strips. But you know, if you wanted it to fit a little closer to the size of the can, you need to leave at least a little at the bottom or at the top of the item in order for it to fit. And I cut these. I cut these 3 inches because that's what this top is. But another helpful tip, it needed to be probably just a slight bit smaller. I would say probably maybe like a 2.95 or 2.96 or something like that, in order for it to fit. The 3 inch is just a little bit too big for that top. And so if you want it to fit perfect, you probably need to cut just a little slight bit smaller than 3 inches. Okay, so I did mention a minute ago, I am using sticker paper for these right here. These are on sticker paper. And so this is the sticker paper that I purchased from Amazon. I purchased this a few years ago, but it's glossy sticker paper. And that's what I'm using for these images that I'm printing. Okay, this is the cardstock. See, it's kind of a shiny cardstock, and it's double-sided so that I can put those on the front and the back. It doesn't matter. So you can get the one-sided cardstock, but I decided to get 2 sides of cardstock, and that's what I'm using. So my youngest son had a idea that I thought was interesting. He wanted to know how would they be able to tell what kind of Pringles that they were getting if they had a preference. So I thought of putting on the bottom of the Pringle can, I don't know if y'all can see that, the name of the Pringles, so that if the person picks it up, they'll be able to see what kind of Pringles it is under the bottom of the Pringles, since we're covering up the outside of the label. So that may be something you want to do. If you know, it's optional, but I thought that was, you know, a neat thing to do, because my son is very finicky and he doesn't like certain kinds of Pringles. So he was like, how would I be able to tell, Mom? So I was like, okay, well, this is what we can do. So first we're going to get the Pringles can, and we're going to get one of these labels. And I normally like to start with this side, because I can cut this part off, because it is a little too long as you go around. And so I normally cut this little part off. So I start with this side, and I normally go to the back of the can and then try to make sure that I'm lining it up straight across the can. Then I just roll it. And if it gets a little off, it's not a big deal. And I like these because I've heard some people say that their stickers, you can't lift them. These, you can. It does give a good seal, but you can lift them if you need to reset the seam to make sure that it, you know, sets right. So see, it has a little bit over. And so I can get my scissors and cut this little piece off. Then, see, you gotta, okay. So then the next thing I do is I go ahead and get this. And if you can see what I'm talking about, this right here is a little big. See, it fits perfectly on top. So it's not going inside this seam. It's sitting on top of the seam. And that's, you know, totally fine. But if you wanted to sit inside the little rim, you can cut it just a little bit shorter in order for it to sit inside the rim. So let's see if my hot glue gun is warm, and it is. So we can go ahead and put some glue. And I'll go inside and press it down just to make sure that it seals to the top really good. Okay. Then next, I have the trim pieces. These thin pieces here are the pieces for the bottom. And I can tell you what I made these. Let me see if I can look it up. These, I know they're 10 inches long. And for some of the tops, I should have made these a little bit longer. I should have made these an 11, because they don't fit around this as well. It's a little short. So these are 10 inches long, and I think 0.25 is what with the width. Yes, 0.25 width and 10 inches long. The big ones are 0.5. So these are 0.5 and these are 0.25. Okay. So around the bottom, I normally go right above the little silver piece, and you can choose, you know, to each their own how you want to do this. And I start in the back as well, because I don't want them to see the seam. So I start in the back, and I put some right around the edge. And I don't put it all the way around. I just, you know, put it in little spaces around and make it lay down. And see, there's a little extra there. So I'm gonna cut that little piece off. And put a little hot glue, just a little dab to make it lay down. Okay, and that's the bottom. So with these here, I have some wire cutters, but for some reason my wire cutters aren't going all the way up to the edge of the ball, and it's leaving a little extra sharp little edge. So I'm having to use my scissors, these, to cut this off because my wire cutters are not going close enough to the edge. So I cut this little piece off with my scissors and try to get as close to it as I can. It's a little bit left, but not much. And I'll show you once I get finished cutting it. Okay, you can see, can you see that? See, it's just a little bit, but not a lot that's left on there. Okay, so I get this, and I have been getting my spoon, and I scoop about 2 scoops, and that is a perfect amount to go in here. So I do 2 scoops of this, and that has seemed to be the right amount. Okay, put all that in there. Okay, and then I get my little piece, this that I made. And I actually, when I made this one, I added a little piece at the bottom so it can flip down and I can glue this part to this base here. So I just got a shape and added it to the bottom of the one so that I'll be able to glue it to the base. So I just get this and I glue it to the base. Try to get it as close to the center as I can. If it's a little off, it doesn't matter. Okay. And then you get your, probably need a little thinner glue gun. But I've had this glue gun for years and we're just using what we got. So I just put it on a couple sides just to kind of make it sit, because you're going to glue it for the most part on the outside. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So just enough to make it stay. And then I put this on the top. Sitting it right down the edge. And there's a little gap around. So what I've been doing for the most part is I've been doing the outside more than anything. So right there at that edge, I'm doing a glue all the way around and smoothing it and gluing. Just smoothing and gluing. Using the tip of my glue gun to smooth it out as I'm gluing. Need a little more glue. And this doesn't matter because the thing that you put around it is going to, you know, cover it. So it doesn't matter about the glue being on the outside because you're going to cover it up. But I want to make sure that I'm not leaving any gaps so that the little confetti would fall out. And I did see some other different kinds of confetti, but in my store, that was what I found, so I used what I found. I wanted some of the bigger pieces, but this particular time when I went to 2 different Dollar Trees and I didn't, well, I think I went to 3 different Dollar Trees and I didn't see the larger confettis. So I said, well, we're gonna use what we got. and make it work. Make it happen. This little piece is back, okay. And then that'll set, and then once it's set, see, it's got your little one. And it needs to dry out a tad bit more. Just come loose. Okay. And make sure, the reason why I've been making it flat is because the first one I didn't smooth it out and make it flat. So it made this look lumpy. So that's the reason why I've been flattening it out across, so that it won't make this part, once you put that around on top of it, it won't make it look lumpy. And so I've gotten this, the first one I did, and I'll show you, I did it just plain blue, and I didn't like that one so much. I'm gonna go back and add the white to it. It looked plain, so I liked it better when I added the extra layer of white to it. So that's the reason why I'm doing the two. And then I got the little cookies to put around the edge of it, just to give it a little extra something. Okay. So I just been getting these, and I use this tape, and again, I put it in spots. Let's see if it's gonna work. There it is. Get it in the center. You see? Yeah. Okay. And I did end up going back and making the white ones a little bit longer than the blue, and that kind of covers up that little gap that you'll see in the blue ones, because I didn't want to cut a whole new set of blue strips. So the white kind of covers up that little extra. I'm trying to get the little glue that's hanging. Okay. So I flip this in, and then I put the top on it. Come on.
Need help? Give me it.
No.
Why?
There we go.
Why?
Okay.
Why won't you let me help?
Okay. And so this is what it looks like without the strip. And then I just get the little strip, and I go to the back because I don't want you to see the seam. So I go to the back, and I put a little bit of hot glue.
And you just wrap it around everything.
So if you can see there's a little bit of gap right there, and I just use this little white to kind of cover that little piece up, and it's in the back, so it really doesn't matter. Make sure I get the little strings of the glue that's trying to stick off of it. So that's the reason why I made the white just a little bit longer, so it can compensate for the fact that these are short, and then I don't have to go back in and cut those over again. And so I put a little bit of glue right there so it can pull across. And then I cut off the excess. Cut that a little more straight. Okay. There we go. Okay. And then this is what it looks like once it's done. And like I said, I add the little cookies, and you know, that's just my personal preference, just to give it a little bit of something. And I sent a picture of the ones with the cookie and without the cookie to Mom, and she liked the little extra accent of the little cookies. And so I just made like a couple of different sizes of cookies, one with the bite and one without the bite. And so I just kind of put four or five, you know, little cookies around the edge of the top, so that, you know, it'll bring out the little Cookie Monster theme into the little shaker. So that's it. I hope this was helpful. This is my first time trying it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm gonna improve my method and you know how they look as I go along, but this is my first time trying them. So I think for a first try, I think it really turned out really cute. So yeah, I wanted to share. So thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.